When you're building a financial application, you need to be careful that it's not being used for unlawful activities by unscrupulous characters, including drug lords, terrorists, and people who talk on their cell phones during movies. You know, the worst of the worst. And while Plaid identity verification can help you determine the real identity of the person using your application, Plaid Monitor can help you determine if this user is part of any watch list that would prohibit them from using your app. And together, these two products can help you stay compliant with anti-money laundering regulations. To get started with Plaid Monitor, head on over to the Monitor section of the Plaid dashboard. You might need to click this drop-down to get there, and create a new screening program. You can create a program to screen against entities like corporations or charities, or one that will screen for individual people. From there, you can select a number of different options that determine how strict Monitor should be when matching your user against different watch lists. This includes how closely their name should match, and whether to also match their birthday to eliminate some false positives. Then choose which screening list to check your users against. Plaid Monitor works with a number of different lists from different countries. This includes government sanctions lists and the FBI wanted list. You also have the option to check your users against politically exposed persons to make sure your application is complying with anti-bribery laws. Check with your friendly neighborhood compliance officer to decide what screening lists are right for you. While you're at it, head over to the webhook section of the Plaid dashboard and configure your webhook locations. You'll be needing these soon. And yes, Plaid veterans, these webhooks are configured here, not when you create a link token. Once you've set up your screening program just the way you like it, implementing Monitor is pretty easy, particularly if you're already using Plaid identity verification. In your identity verification template, indicate that you would like to screen customers and then select the screening program you just created from the drop-down list. From then on, when you verify a user's identity, Plaid will automatically run this user through the program you specified. When you retrieve your user's identity verification status through the Plaid API, the object that gets returned will include a watchlist screening ID. Simply make a call to the appropriate GET endpoint with this screening ID, and you'll get information about this user's screening status. If your user's name doesn't appear on any of your screening lists, they'll be marked as cleared. If their name does appear, they'll be marked as pending review, which means somebody on your team will need to examine their case on the Plaid dashboard and decide whether they should be allowed in your system or not. When the user screening status has been updated, Plaid will send a webhook to your server with the screening ID of this user. Make another call to the appropriate GET endpoint, and you'll get back the new status of this user alongside your own client user ID, so you can update your records accordingly. And if you're not using Plaid for your identity verification process, that's fine. Just make a call to watchlist screening individual or entity create, and pass along any information you have about your user. This information should still be verified though, so if you're not using Plaid's identity verification product, make sure it's being verified by another third party. The response you get back will include the user's screening status field, just like before. Plaid Monitor can also continue to check your users against these watch lists as they get updated, so you can continuously maintain AML compliance. So if a user that previously cleared your screening suddenly shows up in a watch list, Plaid will let you know, again sending you a webhook and putting this user in the pending review section of your dashboard so that you can investigate the matter further. This has been Plaid Monitor in 3 minutes. If you want to find out more about Monitor, make sure to check out our documentation, watch this video on identity verification, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can find out about new tutorials as soon as they're available. Happy monitoring, and put your phone away. The movie's about to start.